going on? This is Sunshine.
And this is E.
What's going on? All right.
We are back here for another reaction video, which is a comedy.
Comedy.
Looks like it is George Carlin.
George Carlin.
And what is he going to be talking about?
You have no rights.
No rights.
You have no rights. But I want y'all to do me a favor. Maybe this will let. Do me a favor. Down in the description, we linked a reaction that we did a while back, and we have just getting started, so we didn't have a lot of eyes on it. If y'all could do us a favor, and we did a review on a movie, and we didn't take any video clips, and we didn't do the trailer. We just went straight to our review of the movie, and we just want you all to, because George Carlin, man, people that follow George Carlin, they give great comments, so I think they're the people to go to ask. Click on that link below. Check out our reaction on that particular movie. I'm going to let you be surprised and figure out what movie it is and tell us what you think about the reaction. It's just now we maybe got more eyes. At that time we just started, so just tell us about that. But we'll get back to George right now.
Okay. Yeah, so, and before we get started with listening to George, I want you to hit that like button.
Like button.
Hit that like button.
Like button.
Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Swearing on the Bible. You understand that shit? They tell you to raise your right hand, place your left hand on the Bible. Does this stuff really matter? Which hand? Does God really give a fuck about details like this? Suppose you put your right hand on the Bible, you raise your left hand. Would that count? Or would God say, sorry, wrong hand, try again? And what?
You know, I just want to say something real quick. I mean, he's got a good point right there.
Yeah,
because God made both our hands, so... I'm like,
you know,
would he care?
I think the only reason why they do this is because, you know, most of us are right-handed. They say put your left hand on and raise your right hand. Is that what they say? Yeah. That's the only thing I think, because they do that, and I think you're supposed to use the right hand to go on your heart when you do it. I think that's some all connected. But
so then is it fair to the lefties?
Y'all got your own store, so that's good enough. Go ahead.
Why does one hand have to be raised? What is the magic in this gesture? This seems like some sort of a primitive voodoo mojo shtick. Why not put your left hand on the Bible, let your right hand hang down by your side? It's more natural. Or put it in your pocket. Remember what your mother used to say? Don't put your hands in your pockets. Does she know something we don't know? Is this hand shit really important? Well, let's get back to the Bible, America's favorite national theatrical prop. Suppose the Bible they hand you to swear on is upside down, or backward, or both. And you swear to tell the truth on an upside-down, backward Bible. Would that count? Suppose the Bible they hand you is an old...
Okay, I'll say something.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know.
Talk to me.
When the president held the Bible up the other day, it was upside down.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Does anybody pay attention to that?
I don't know. But see, you may think that's spooky, but the spooky thing is George Carlin saying it.
Right. This was how long ago? I'm just saying.
Okay.
Let's see.
Bible and half the pages are missing. Suppose all they have is a Chinese Bible in an American court. Or a Braille Bible and you're not blind. Suppose they hand you an upside down, backward Chinese Braille Bible with half the pages missing. At what point does all of this stuff just break down and become just a lot of stupid shit that somebody made up? They fucking made it up, folks. It's make-believe. It's make-believe. Now, all right. Okay. Let's leave the Bible aside. We'll get back to the science fiction reading later. The more important question is, what is the big deal about swearing to God in the first place? Why does swearing to God mean you're going to tell the truth? Wouldn't affect me. If they said to me, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, I'd say, yeah. I'll tell you about as much truth as the people who wrote that fucking Bible. How do you like that? Swearing on the Bible doesn't mean anything. It's kid. Swearing to God is kid stuff. You remember when you were a kid If you told another kid something he didn't quite believe, he'd say, "You swear to God?" I would always say, "Yeah, I swear to God," even if I was lying. Why not? What's going to happen if I lie? Nothing. Nothing happens if you lie, unless you get caught, and that's a whole different story. Sometimes a kid would think he was being slick with me, and he'd say, "You swear on your mother's grave?" I'd say, "Yeah. Why not? First of all, my mother was alive. She didn't even have a grave. Second of all, even if she was dead, what's she going to do? Rise from the grave and come and haunt me? Come and haunt me? All because I told a lie to an 8-year-old? Get fucking real, will you?"
Okay, I want to say another one.
All right.
We used to say what he was saying as a kid.
Uh-huh.
You know, used to say, you swear.
Right.
Swear to God.
It was
Another one was like, swear to God, cross your heart, hope to die. That's a whole nother.
sticking it in the eye type thing.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that one. Yeah.
Sometimes I would say, "I swear on my mother's tits." Kids are impressed with things like that. I mean, I don't care about my mother's tits either. I don't care if they fell off. Fuck her. Not my problem. They're your tits, Ma. You keep an eye on them. Swearing to God doesn't mean anything. Swearing on the Bible doesn't mean anything. You know why? Because Bible or no Bible, God or no God, if it suits their purposes, people are going to lie in court. The police do it all the time. All the time. Yes, they do. It's part of their job to protect, to serve, and to commit perjury whenever it supports the state's case. Swearing on the Bible is just one more way of controlling people and keeping them in line, and it's one more thing that holds us back as a species. Here's one more item for you, the last in our civics book, rights. Boy, everyone in this country is always running around yammering about their fucking rights. I have a right, you have no right, we have a right, they don't have a right. Folks, I hate to spoil your fun, but there's no such thing as rights, okay? They're imaginary. We made them up, like the boogeyman. The Three Little Pigs, Pinocchio, Mother Goose, shit like that. Rights are an idea. They're just imaginary. They're a cute idea. Cute. But that's all. Cute and fictional. But if you think you do have rights, let me ask you this. Where do they come from? People say, well, they come from God. They're God-given rights. Oh, fuck, here we go again. Here we go again. The God excuse. The last refuge of a man with no answers and no argument. It came from God. Anything we can't describe must have come from God. Personally, folks, I believe that if your rights came from God, He would have given you the right to some food every day, and He would have given you the right to a roof over your head. God would have been looking out for you. God would have been looking out for you. You know that? He wouldn't have been worried about making sure you have a gun so you can get drunk on Sunday night and kill your girlfriend's parents. But let's say it's true. Let's say God gave us these rights. Why would He give us a certain number of rights? The Bill of Rights in this country has 10 stipulations, okay? 10 rights. And apparently God was doing sloppy work that week because we've had to amend the Bill of Rights an additional 17 times. So God forgot a couple of things like slavery. Just fucking slipped his mind. But let's say God gave us the original 10. He gave the British 13. The British Bill of Rights has 13 stipulations. The Germans have 29. The Belgians have 25. The Swedish have only 6. And some people in the world have no rights at all. What kind of a fucking goddamn God-given deal is that? No rights at all? Why would God give different people in different countries different numbers of different rights? Boredom? Amusement? Bad arithmetic? Do we find out at long last, after all this time, that God is weak in math skills? Doesn't sound like divine planning to me. Sounds more like human planning. Sounds more like one group trying to control another group. In other words, business as usual in America. Now, if you think you do have rights, one last assignment for you. Next time you're at the computer, get on the internet, go to Wikipedia. When you get to Wikipedia, in the search field for Wikipedia, I want you to type in Japanese Americans 1942, and you'll find out all about your precious fucking rights, okay? All right. You know about it. You know about it. Yeah. In 1942, there were 110,000 Japanese American citizens and good standing, law-abiding people who were thrown into internment camps simply because their parents were born in the wrong country. That's all they did wrong. They had no right to a lawyer, no right to a fair trial, no right to a jury of their peers, no right to due process of any kind. The only right they had, right this way, into the internment camps. Just when these American citizens needed their rights the most, their government took them away. And rights aren't rights if someone can take them away. They're privileges. That's all we've ever had in this country is a bill of temporary privileges. And if you read the news even badly, you know that every year the list gets shorter and shorter and shorter. You see how sooner Sooner or later, the people in this country are going to realize the government does not give a fuck about them. Government doesn't care about you or your children or your rights or your welfare or your safety. It simply doesn't give a fuck about you. It's interested in its own power. That's the only thing, keeping it and expanding it wherever possible. Personally, when it comes to rights, I think one of two things is true. I think either we have unlimited rights or we have no rights at all. Personally, I lean toward unlimited rights. I feel, for instance, I have the right to do anything I please. But if I do something you don't like, I think you have the right to kill me. So where are you going to find a fairer fucking deal than that? So the next time some asshole says to you, I have a right to my opinion, you say, oh yeah, well I have a right to my opinion, and my opinion is you have no right to your opinion. Then shoot the fuck and walk away.
Drop the mic. That's what I have to say.
Right.
Yeah, it's funny how he's saying this, and this stuff has been here all along. It's just because it's still here.
Right.
Yeah, so what rights do you have? Very limited rights. And like he said, there are some who still have no rights at all.
Right. And sometimes you don't get to find out that you have those rights until you come across a situation. They go, wait a minute, I thought and you maybe not actually have them. Let me say one thing about
pertains to some. I'm sorry.
Let me say one thing about George. Now, if I don't know if people that follow George would know or could see that he's getting. This is prior towards the end of his career. He's a little slower, talks a little slower, but the mind is still there.
Yeah.
The mind is still there.
Yeah, his mind.
And that's one thing, and that's a mark of a true professional, that you can other things, but your craft doesn't necessarily suffer from it. So I give him a lot of credit for that. The other thing that I give him a lot of credit for, and I know George Carlin as far as his comedy, and I've heard him from time to time, listen to a little bit more of him now. But there were other comedians, such as Dick Gregory, that did comedy, and then
that's right.
And they did want to talk about social things.
Yeah.
But it pulled them out of the comedy, where that's all. And he was able to toe that line. I think he put more into, let me just, whatever I'm going to do, I'll put it in a funny way and present it to people, and he kind of stayed in that lane. Another person that's kind of going that way is D.L. Hughley.
Yeah.
He's another one that's fine. I mean, because he does comedy now. He's getting more into the political, social issues, but he's still staying strong in his comedy too. But I'm wondering, as he goes on, will it continue to pull him away like it did? And I'm not saying it pulled Dick Gregory away. Maybe he decided to do that. He made that decision to say, hey, comedy's great, but let me move on. Because if you watch Dick Gregory at the end of his life, and you watch the video, you would never think he was a comedian. Because it was all serious. The fun and games were gone. He was all about political and social issues.
Right.
And so
maybe he felt that's where it was needed.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So I don't.
Like you said, it's all fun and games. When you're doing what you're doing, but then maybe I'm needed over here more so.
Right.
And maybe that's why.
And that's good, because like I said, I don't think you can't have all Malcolms, you can't have all Martins. You got to have so I think it was needed at the time that he can be able to pull us off and get across some of the social issues and political issues through comedy. And I'm sure that people will watch those that have any kind of affiliations one way or the other, wasn't totally offended by his act. They understood that, I need to think about what he's saying. And he made me laugh.
Right.
So that's...
And on the other hand of that is he recognized it. He recognized that something's not right. You know, something wasn't right then, something's not right now. And now we're in a different era, you know, where it's still not right. So, I mean, I commend him on at least recognizing it. And, you know, making it jokester. For those who didn't pay attention, maybe and saw this, maybe now you are.
Right.
You know, so it's I commend him at least, you know, speaking on it.
Right.
You know, and trying to make light of the situation.
Right.
You know, whatever side.
So for now, I'm gonna call him Captain George. I would call him King George, but King George is, I think, they gave that to George, the country singer. What's his name? George Strait. I think they call him King George.
Do they really?
Yeah, I
didn't
think
know
so.
that.
I think they do. I mean, I listen to a little country music from time to time, and I think
You listen to country music a lot.
But you know, so
You want to hear us review any?
I mean, it's all good. Music is music. What does it matter? Music.
No, I mean, I
love it
like
all.
some of it. Don't get me wrong. Don't
So
get me
we're gonna
wrong.
call him Captain because, you know, I think we're more of a captain. So we're gonna call him Captain George from now on. All right. Hey, we appreciate you listening to our reaction. But make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification button so you can take this journey with us as we drop those videos. And I do believe that's it.
No, you don't.
What happened?
You're supposed to talk about whatever.
Oh, well, listen. I did talk on the front end, but let me just remind you again. If you could go down into the description and click on that.
Oh,
Click on that. That's what she wouldn't pay attention as long as you are. She would click on that you know, that link to a review we did of a movie. Like I said, once you hit that, and just let us know what you think about that movie, because we want to get more eyes on that. And I'm just curious what you all think. Really, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So
I like to know people's views on that.
So with that, I think that's it.
Yes.
All right.
Thanks for listening to Sunshine and E.